Hello everyone, good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in to our Sunday afternoon live stream. I hope you're all having a lovely afternoon, and well, it's not been a bad day at all here down in Northants. We've had sunshine from dawn, and it looks like it'll be sunny until dusk actually, so quite surprised. I was expecting some showers, but they haven't materialised yet, but I don't know what it's like where you are. But do let me know in the live chat what the weather is doing where you are. So this is becoming a regular feature, of course, at Gazwavids at the moment. We're doing regular live streams every Wednesday afternoon, excuse me, between 4 and 5, and every Sunday afternoon between 5 and 6 o'clock. And we're doing this because we're in the coronavirus crisis, of course. We're all in lockdown, and we can't get out and about as we normally would. So I think it's important that people have another outlet to be able to be entertained and informed. It can't all be constant doom and gloom with the coronavirus. So I think it's very important that we're able to all check in with one another and, as I say, hopefully be entertained and informed. So we're going to be here for around an hour. We're going to be here until 6 o'clock, and in around 20-25 minutes or so we'll do a little bit of screen sharing and have a look at the observations from XC Weather. And also we'll have a look at, because in the last live stream on Wednesday, one of the things that came up was about how the warm and dry April in 2007 ended, and we went off into that very wet summer. So have a look at the Historic Archive Wet as Entral to see how the warm, dry April sort of ended in April 2007. We're going to have a look at some of the possibilities within the ECM ensembles from the Icelandic Met Office. I couldn't show them in Gazwavids study roundup earlier on because we recorded the video a little bit too early to be able to show those. If you have a bit of time, you might have a look at CFS V2, see what that's showing for the next few months as well. Just depends how much time we have, how busy the chat is, of course. So the live chat is enabled for this live stream. Yes, if you want to get involved with the discussion, then you certainly can do that. I'm embedding the video to gazwavids.com as well as being on YouTube. But if you want to get involved in the chat, in the discussion, then you will need to come to the YouTube channel. So if you're listening on gazwavids.com, just click through the video and you'll be able to get involved in the live chat. Super Chat is enabled for this live stream, and give a donation through Streamlabs as well. I've got a new system where it should flag up if somebody either subscribes or donates or super chats or whatnot through the video. It should sort of flag up that person. Excuse me, again, it should flag up that person within the video, but that's only if I've got everything hooked up correctly between YouTube and Streamlabs, which, knowing me, I'm not all that technically savvy. Knowing me, I probably haven't got it all connected. Right, so been here for just about 5 minutes. I've got 42 people watching us so far, so hello and a big thank you to our 42 people tuning in. Don't forget to give us a like on the video and let us know that you are enjoying the live show. I see we've already got some comments as well. Quite a few of you are in with us, so let's have a look at what you're saying, shall we? So we've got Sunny with us. Say hello, Gavin. Warm afternoon again. So hello, Sunny. Thank you for tuning in this afternoon to our live stream. And yeah, it's been really warm here again today. And as I was expecting showers to break out, but it's just been clear blue skies and just unbroken sunshine really all day. So if you like warm and dry April weather, then today's a little bit of a bonus, I think, certainly down here in the south anyway. It's a little bit of a bonus because we was expecting today to be rather more mixed than it has been. The weather overall is breaking down, so this is just an extra day really, but unsettled conditions are going to be on the way. Henry W is with us saying hello, Gavin. So hello, Henry. Thank you for being with us this afternoon. Thank you so much for being with us and listening to our live stream. Loads and loads of comments already, so thank you everybody for getting involved in the chat. We've got Duncan Ward and Callum Turley with us, so hello Callum, thank you for tuning in. And Duncan is saying hi, all, hope you're all good. So hi Duncan, thank you for being with us this afternoon. We've got Jaris saying hey Gav, my screen is clear now, so no more sunspots on my screen. So that goes back to Gav's Sunday roundup where I showed that tiny little sunspot, and Jaris said in the comments that he actually had a bigger spot on his screen than that sunspot. So yes, it was a very, very small sunspot, wasn't it? Yeah, that was a very, very tiny little sunspot, but it was visible, so it had to be included. We've also got Shiram with us. I think I pronounced that wrong, so sorry about that, Shiram. But Shiram is with us saying, afternoon, Gavin. Hope you are fine and well. So hello, my friend. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. We've also got Alpha SB saying hello. So hello, Alpha. Thank you for being with us this afternoon as well. Philip is saying, afternoon, all afternoon, Gav. We've had drizzly rubbish in Shropshire. Oh dear, so the cloud and dampness isn't all that far away then, isn't it, Philip? So I really am very, very lucky here in Northampton to have had the sunshine that I've had today, because you've only got to go up to Shropshire, and it looks like it's been pretty miserable up there then. Sorry to hear that, but as I say, the weather is breaking down, so you can expect more cloud, damp, dreary conditions to come, I'm afraid, over the next few days. Things are going to get a lot worse, actually. By Tuesday, we could be seeing heavy rain across many parts of England and Wales. Mikey Croucher is saying, hey Gav, I am in Nailsea, North Somerset. Hi Mikey, thank you for being with us this afternoon as we're doing our lockdown live stream. I hope you're having a great afternoon, and just thank you so much for being with us this afternoon, being here with us this afternoon. Looking at one or two more, we've got Justin Crilly saying afternoon Gavin, so afternoon Justin, thank you for being with us, and also Sergeant Furrytoe saying afternoon chap, so afternoon Sergeant, thank you for being with us this afternoon. Great to see so many new names in the live chat. We've also got Henry W saying sunny April but hoping for a cool and wet May to counteract a cooler May 2007 or wetter May 2015 would go perfectly well. So yeah, it's been a really, really sunny and dry and warm April. But we know the last time that this happened in 2007, there was really quite a flip, actually. Yeah, I'll just take a drink of water. A little bit dry this afternoon. So, we know what happened in 2007 after that warm and dry April. There was a real flip, and things turned an awful lot wetter as we went through May, June and July 2007. Just to say that again, the same idea with the live chat. I'm scrolling through the chat as I'm doing the video, and it does have a tendency to pull down to the final comment. So if I have to scroll back to get back to where I was, and it sounds like I'm drifting off a little bit, that is what's going on. Let's have a look, one, two more. So Katrine is with us. Katrine Baso saying, good afternoon. Oh, good afternoon, Gav. Thank you, Katrine, for tuning in this afternoon. We've also got Duncan saying, sunny all day, nice and warm, making most of the garden before the rain arrives. Yep, we've got rain on the way by Tuesday. I think much of England and Wales going to be pretty wet and not all that good at all. Not as bad in the north, though. It won't be quite as wet up in the north, but certainly for England and Wales, we've got quite a lot of rain to come from Tuesday onwards through into Wednesday. Dark Knight 2029 is with us saying good afternoon, Gav. So good afternoon, Dark Knight. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. We've also got Dylan saying good afternoon, Gav, and everyone. Well, it's another amazing day here in Wales. Yes, indeed, Dylan. Again, rather unexpected, but we've managed to pull off this extra day of warm and dry weather. But there we go. It's an added bonus that we've been given. by the weather gods today. Not as good further north, though, as we've already established. Callum is saying it's looking very interesting for the first week of May. So, yes, I think we may pull up a little bit of heat from the south. We might start to pull up some warmth from southern Europe. But if we do, it's likely to be unstable. It's likely to be quite unstable if we do that. We've got Alan Petru saying, "Hi Gav, hope you are well. Just cloudy over here in Warwickshire after a lovely sunny day." So thank you for being with us, Alan. Thank you so much for being with us. And yeah, fantastic day in the Midlands today. And I hope you're enjoying the live stream that we're doing for you this afternoon. We've got around 50 people watching us at the moment. So thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on video and let us know that you are enjoying the live stream. Sharon is saying, "Hello Gavin, I have a question regarding the SOI, so an oscillation index with the negative SOI atmospheric favouring El Nino and positive SOI favouring La Nina. How can an atmospheric state drive an ENSO event?" So it's rather complicated, Shiram, and it's quite an involved answer. Basically, you need, within the ocean of the Pacific, you need to have either warmer for El Nino or colder for La Nina subsurface temperature anomalies in excess of half a degree above average or more. And when you get that, if that happens and couples up with an atmospheric state that is also reflective of an El Nino, then the two will kind of come together. And that will help to drive the ocean in wanting to go into whatever state it wants to go in, whether that's El Nino or La Nina. But you really do need the two to come together and, kind of couple up. And if you do that, then you can start to really move on into quite significant events, actually. So to get a significant El Nino or La Nina event, you really do need the ocean and the atmosphere to couple up. It's a very involved answer. Probably haven't answered all that well, and I will probably have a little bit more about that in Wednesday's live stream. There is actually charts online that can show you how an atmospheric state with an El Nino, differs to a La Nina. So I'll probably do that on Wednesday if I can find that chart. Savvy is with us. Savvy is going to be moderating our chat this afternoon. So if everybody can say good afternoon and thank you very much to Savvy, that would be absolutely great and fantastic. Savvy on his channel has just reached 5,000 subscribers, so congratulations to Savvy for doing that. And if everybody can say thanks to Savvy and moderating our chat, and also congratulations for him reaching 5,000 subs on his channel, that would be absolutely great. Right, let's have a look at a few more of your comments. So Katrine is saying it's another lovely sunny day with clear skies in South Ockendon. Great to hear that the weather is nice down there in the South Ockendon, Katrine. You're going to need some rain for your rain gauge, though, aren't you, that you won through Gasworthy's Met Check. So hopefully you'll be able to get some measurable rain quite soon. City Andy is with us saying, "Afternoon all, I hope everyone is well." Afternoon, Andy. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. We've got Mikey Croucher saying, "Are we having a hot summer?" Good question, Mikey. Did you see the second seasonal model roundup for the summer of 2020 that we released earlier on today? If you did, you'll know that the long range models, we got something like 12 long range models together to see what they were all showing. If you did see that video, you will know that the long range models are really split with one another. So around a 50-50 split between the long range models that are going for a cooler and more unsettled type summer, and around 50%, I think, roughly around 50%, half of them are going for a warmer, drier summer. So it's a very, very confused picture at the moment with this summer. We've still got more analogues updates to do, and I'm not sure we've got this completely nailed down yet in terms of this summer from a long-range model perspective or from an analog perspective. Actually, it is getting very late on now, and I haven't really got a feel for this summer. So, yes, it's going to be one of those that's going to be going down to the wire, I think, with the Gasworthy's summer forecast. It is quite a complicated season to get together. Alpha SB is saying the clouds look quite ominous earlier, so I wouldn't rule out chance of some thunder. So there could be some heavy showers. I'm not sure if there's any heavy showers sparking off through the Midlands, North Midlands, Wales and Northern England at the moment, but there could be some heavy showers breaking out. I think more generally, sort of tonight, it's like just showery rain. Really, but probably won't be overly thundery, but certainly showery rain is possible tonight. Tomorrow, probably a rather showery day again. A lot of those showers hit and miss, and then we go into quite a wet day on Tuesday and another wet day on Wednesday as well. Been here for 15 minutes and our viewer rate is going up, so we're up to 58 viewers watching us now. So a big thank you to everybody for tuning in this afternoon. Don't forget to give us a like on the video, and we hope you're all having a great afternoon wherever you are, even though we're in lockdown. So, I mean, it's not particularly great times at the moment, of course, is it? But we're all making the best of it, I think, and hopefully we're managing to entertain and inform you here at Gavs Weatherviz. Dylan is saying, not that we like rain, but my garden really needs some rain. It's been an incredible spell of dry weather here. Yes, it has been very, very dry, Dylan, hasn't it, for probably around 6 weeks, I think, really. So it's tough to remember when this started, but because it's sort of just the wet spell, it's in a very wet spell through winter, of course. The wet spell just kind of gradually diminished, didn't it? It wasn't a very sudden flick from one thing to another. I think we just saw the wet spell gradually diminishing at the end of February into the early part of March. Actually, early March was still quite unsettled, and it wasn't really until the middle part of March. So it perhaps hasn't been as long with this dry spell as it might, as we might think. But certainly April, sort of late March, April has been very, very dry. It really has been an incredible spell of weather. But as I say, not unheard of at all. We do get these spells, particularly seemingly at this time of the year. So we had 2011, April 2011, had 2007. Very warm and dry Aprils, to say the least. Mark Kinish, you're saying, hi Gavin, I think what you said last week would be good to look up some summer charts from 2007 summer with a possible La Nina. Yes, so we're going to do that in around 10 minutes, Mark. We'll have a look at some observations from XC Weather, have a look at the archive at Weather Central, see how the warm, dry spell from April 2007 flipped into a wet spell in May 2007. So, and also have a look at the Oxygen Observatory within the Icelandic Met Type. So all of that is coming up in around 10 minutes. So stand by. And we'll do some screen sharing in around 10 minutes. Paul Stanya is saying, hi Gavin, any thunder activity on the horizon? So we're going to more unsettled spell in the next few days, actually, Paul, and I wouldn't rule out the chance of a few heavy showers getting going during that period. But I think what we're primarily focusing on from a thunder perspective now is probably going to be sometime around the 4th, 5th of May. We might start to import some really quite unusual warmth from southern Europe, kind of like a very early Spanish plume. And if we do, it's likely to be very unstable because low pressure will ultimately be driving that. So if we do import some heat from southern Europe, that could well break, that could well sort of see thunderstorms breaking out. So around the 4th, 5th May, quite a long way off still, but around 4th, 5th May, that's when we're sort of looking to pinpoint a chance of maybe some thunder and perhaps some quite unusual early warmth for no more than around a day or two. And then it'll all be swept away by the westerlies from the Atlantic. Paul, excuse me, got a bit of a cough today. Again, but don't worry, I've been coughing since December, actually, on and off, so it's just one of those coughs that I can't shake off, but I'm absolutely fine. It's nothing coronavirus related, thankfully. Paul Miller is saying, hi Gav, hope you're well, still sunny and warm in Suffolk, but looks like a big change this week and into May. Yes, indeed, Paul, we've had this extra day of drier weather, sunnier weather today down in the south, but the breakdown is on the way. The breakdown is coming, and we're going to see things going a lot more unsettled in the next few days, I think. Callum Turley is saying, are we going to have any thunderstorms in the first week of May? So just talked about that, of course, Callum. There is a possibility around the 4th, 5th May that we might generate some heavy showers, possibly some thunderstorms, if we start to import some warmth from southern Europe during that early part of May period. Let's see if we can see one or two more. So we've got Francetta saying, it's dry here in West Wales, but partially cloudy and cool enough to wear a fleece when the sun goes in, but okay when it comes out, but not as hot as this morning. So that's indicative of the change that's taking place. Has already turned quite a lot colder up across the northern half of the country, and we are going to see these cooler temperatures and more unsettled conditions gradually descending across the country in the next day or so. Mark is saying it would be awful, wouldn't it, if we were still on lockdown over the summer and we had a 2007 summer with people flooded out of their homes, everything else going on. Yes, that would be absolutely terrible, Mark. That really would be bad if we had to put up with flooding as well as the coronavirus. Let's hope we don't. Transport Manchester is with us saying, is there any chance of some warmer weather in the next week? Not really, Transport Manchester. It looks like, if anything, temperatures are cooling down in the coming week, and it's going more unsettled as well. We may be able to bring up some warmth from southern Europe sometime in the first week of May, so sometime around 4th, 5th, we might get a little bit of a spike in the temperature. If we do, though, it's likely to set off big showers. We've got Neil Cutler saying, afternoon Gav and everyone, a sunny, cloudless morning, but cloudier afternoon with a heavy shower. Now sun back out and quite muggy. Thank you for being with us, Neil, this afternoon. So that's absolutely great. Thank you so much for tuning in and being with us for our live stream. You're not all that far away from me. You're only in the West Midlands, I think. And just going to show you how different the conditions are. Not all that far away from where I am. So it sounds like things are already breaking down over there in the West Midlands. I'm over in the East Midlands, of course. Got up to 60 viewers now, so a big thank you to everybody for tuning in this afternoon. I think this is the biggest audience that we've had for one of our lockdown live streams so far, so a big thanks to everybody for being with us and listening this afternoon. Don't forget to give us a like on the video and let YouTube know that you're enjoying the live stream. Bernard Howell is with us saying, hello Gav, hello everyone, 80% cloudy here in County Antrim, but bright and calm and 14 degrees. Thank you for being with us, Bernard. And it sounds like you've gone into the cooler and more unsettled weather. Henry W is saying, I like these streams because weather is my guilty pleasure. I get to indulge in it with other people twice a week. When you admit you know the weather for every year for a century, people look at you funny. Well, I'm not sure about that, Henry. There are a lot of weather fans in the United Kingdom. I can test about through the viewer figures at Galsworth and also from the website stats. I think a lot of Brits actually do find the weather quite interesting. Mickey Jones is saying, hi Gav, it's a lovely day here in Essex. So hi Mickey, thank you so much for being with us this afternoon for our live stream. And Andy is saying, when do you think we get rid of the pesky warm anomaly of the Alaskan coast? I'm not sure actually, Andy, because that probably ties in with the warm bays of the PDO, the Pacific Decade Oscillation. We know that the Pacific and the Atlantic kind of warm and cool in cyclical long-term periods, although year by year you will get deviations. But I think we've entered into the warm phase of the PDO. I think we entered into the warm phase of the Pacific Decadal Oscillation around the middle part of the last decade, so around when we had the Super Nino in 2015 probably. So that's going to be an omnipresent sort of feature probably for the next 20-25 years. It won't be constant for the next 20-25 years. There will be years that deviate and it goes colder there, but overall you can expect to see quite a lot of that warm anomaly in the northeastern Pacific, I think, in the next couple of decades. So again, it's all part and parcel of being in the warm phase of the Pacific Decadal Oscillation. excuse me again. We've got Mark Dennis saying the other comic damning is on one of models on seasonal roundup. Today's video, of course, second seasonal roundup. You said unsettled with high to west, or thus would that be dry and cool with the Atlantic blocked off? I wasn't sure. It depends on jet stream alignment, Mark. So with high pressure to our west, we do block off the Atlantic a little bit, but if a jet stream is dipping down within the 500 millibar flow, then actually you can bring low pressure in from like normal latitudes to kind of like from Iceland. So that particular setup I thought was probably a little bit more on the unsettled side, despite the ridge being just to our west. So in around 5 minutes, going to do some screen share. We'll have a look at the latest observations from XC Weather. We'll have a look at the historic archive at Weather Central to see how the warm, dry April of 2007 broke down and flipped into the cold, wet summer. And we'll have a look at the options that are on the table within the Icelandic Met Office as well. So that is all to come later on through the live stream. So we scroll down. I've got to get back to where I was on the chat. So we got to Shiram saying, hello Gavin, we are due a cold winter soon. Do you think we will get just a very cold winter, better switch back to mild very quickly, or could we get a series of cold winters like in the late 2000s, kind of 2008 to 2012, 2013? That's quite difficult to say, Shiram. So it's possible we will only have like a one-off cold winter if we get one, or we might get a cluster of cold winters. Generally, cold winters do tend to come in clusters. So if you get a cold winter, your chance of the next winter being cold does increase a little bit. But sometimes you just get a one-off cold winter. So I think really, given the situation at the moment, with most months and seasons seemingly quite substantially above average, if you want a cold winter, if you want cold weather, you just take whatever you can get and don't worry about it, really. So if we was to be able to string together a run of colder winters, then that would be good for people who like cold winters. But I wouldn't look any further than like a one-off cold winter, really, given the way that that most months and seasons at the moment are warmer than average. Mike Croucher is asking, Gav, do you work with the Met Office as well, as you are a meteorologist? I'm not a qualified meteorologist, Mikey. I'm self-taught, self-trained, so I don't work with the UK Met Office. I have a lot of good friends at the UK Met. I know quite a few of the people over there and at the BBC. They're doing a great job, but Gav's Weathers is independent. We are independent forecasters, if you like. But the UK Met are great at what they do. As I say, I do have quite a few friends at the UK Met who I speak to from time to time. AW is saying, hi there, Gavin. Just wondering if the end of Solar Cycle 24, a possible weak La Nina, and other minor factors will all combine to give us a possible pretty cold winter in the UK. Well, AW, that is going to be the question, isn't it, when we come to do the winter updates? And we'll be doing winter updates, of course, from September, so still quite a way off, but it'll come round quicker than most people might imagine. You would think that as we are moving into the beginning of Solar Cycle 25, we've had a prolonged solar minimum. We're probably going to have an easterly QBO as well, quite a strong easterly QBO for the coming winter, and maybe a weak La Nina. Those factors you would think probably favour a cold winter, but keep in mind, it only takes one thing to go wrong for us when it comes to our winter weather. So although possibly, yes, the things that we look at within the winter updates do kind of look as though they're lining up to favour a colder winter, I wouldn't at the moment be thinking that we're going to have a cold winter for next winter. Let's just wait and see how things develop over the next few months and over the next few seasons. Kevin Barber is saying, good afternoon, Gav, and your admiring posse of live streamers. Sunshine hours in North Essex must have smashed all records. Looking forward to April showers next week. Thank you for being with us, Kevin, that's absolutely great. Thanks so much for being with us. It has been a fantastically sunny April, hasn't it? And yes, so I think we probably have broken April records for sunshine, although as 2007 and 2011 were very, very sunny Aprils as well. So we have got really appreciable April sunshine to beat, but we'll know when the stats come in. Right, we're up to 63 viewers, so thank you so much for everybody for being with us. We're halfway through our live stream, and I think we'll go and do a little bit of the screen sharing next, shall we? So let's have a look at the observations, first of all, from xcweather.co.uk, and let's see exactly what's happening across the country this afternoon. So I've got to remember what to do with this. I'm going to turn off the image. I've got to enable display capture. There we go. We should be screen sharing. So, as I say, we're at xcweather.co.uk. And you see a real north-south divide with the temperatures this afternoon. So, we've got 20 degrees flashing away there again, yet again, across many parts of the Midlands and Eastern England to several of these stations. We've got Lake Heath Royal Air Force Base in East Anglia coming out at 20 degrees. We've also got that one, Church Lawtham in the Midlands at 20 degrees. We've got Heathrow at 20 degrees too. Norwich is at 20 degrees, going a bit further northwards to Hull Beach, again 20 degrees up there. So in the south and the southeast, we have had this very warm day. We was expecting southern counties to have another warm and dry day, but I'm a bit surprised about how warm it's been through like the Midlands, East Anglia up to Lincolnshire. I thought by now we would be starting to go into those cooler temperatures, so definitely like an added bonus for those of us in the Midlands and Eastern England today. Over into Wales, we've got Lake Vyrnwy though, only at 15 degrees, so the cool air is digging in, or the cooler air is digging in there. Rhyl is at just 15 degrees as well. Capel Curig is at 15 degrees, so the cooler air is digging into Wales now. Bingley is at 13 degrees in northern England. Going further north, it gets colder still. Newcastle is at just 12 degrees there on the North Sea coast. Aberdeen at just 8 degrees, really quite cold. And out Nahara at only 6 degrees. And going further north to Kirkwall Airport, only 8 degrees up there. And over in Northern Ireland, we've got Belfast at 13 degrees. So a real contrast northwest to southeast. As I speak, it seems as though it's been cloud up here in Northants, so I assume that things will be starting to cool down here before too much longer, as the cooler and cloudy skies start to dig in from the north. And as I say, that then is the end of this protracted spell of warm, dry weather. By Tuesday, much of England and Wales could have quite a wet day. Right, I'm going to go over to the Historic Archive at Wetter Central. This is something that came up in Wednesday's live stream. How did the warm, dry April of 2007 end and flip into the very wet summer, cold, wet summer of 2007. So at the Historic Archive at Wetter Central, we're on the 20th of April 2007, and we're under a ridge of high pressure. That was very indicative of what happened through April 2007. We just had like continuous high pressure. Moving on a little bit more to the 24th of April, then you can see that the ridge is beginning to weaken. Low pressure is starting to try and come in from off the Atlantic. No, we don't want that. We want to go there. And we go to the 30th of April. Let's see how things were looking there on the last day of April 2007. We're back under high pressure again. So we had a little attempt at turning things unsettled around the 24th, 25th of April 2007. But then we go back to the high pressure again, and winds are back in from the east. Low pressure gathering in the Atlantic, but still being forced away from us by the jet stream to our south, to our southwest. Right, let's move through to May 2007. This is always quite cumbersome at Wetter Central, the new version of Wetter Central, to get the Historic Archive charts up. So this is the 3rd of May. Again, we're back under high pressure again. Notice the high is beginning to weaken across more southern parts of the country, but still more or less we're high pressure dominating. Then we go through to the 4th of May. Again, high pressure is continuing to be in control. Then to the 5th of May, beginning to weaken the ridge a little bit. Low pressure then is starting to come in to the north and west. Not dramatically so, but it is beginning to start looking a little bit more unsettled. We go through to the 8th of May. We've seen a further weakening of the high pressure then. The ridge is beginning to slip down towards Spain. Low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic now. So we are going to a more active period by this end of last week of May 2007. But it's still not desperately unsettled at this point. We keep this sort of pattern going. So this is the 15th May, mid-May. Again, we've got the high pressure just to our southwest. We're in a westerly flow. It's more changeable than it has been, but it's not dramatically unsettled still up to this point. So it was a gradual erosion, really, of the high pressure. It wasn't a sudden flip from dry and warm to torrential rain and floods through May 2007. It was a gradual decline. Again, that's the 20th of May. And you see that the ridge is still just about trying to hold on by its fingertips, albeit we are in a more overall unsettled and active phase of weather. But it's still not dramatically unsettled up to this point. Now I get to 24th of May, so we're coming up to the end of May, coming up to the final bank holiday weekend of the month. Ridging still attempting to hang on by its fingertips, but now we're going to see the pattern of the summer setting in. It's 25th of May 2007. The ridge is starting to pull apart. Low pressure is starting to move in from the north, up here to the north of Scotland. And as we go through to the 26th of May 2007, we find low pressures generally developing very close to the country. And so we've got one area of low pressure around Ireland, another one over northern parts of France. And we're going into an increasingly unsettled pattern. And then we get through 27th of May, and we're cold and wet. Torrential rain, low pressure to our south. The high pressure, the Azores high, is pulling away from us. We've got a mid-Atlantic ridge as well, attempting to set up some northern blocking. And we're just going into a cold, wet type pattern. And this is really a pattern then that carries us through June and July of 2007. Notice blocking increasingly within the northern latitudes during the latter part of May, the 29th of May, northern latitudes there. And again, low pressure bringing lots of cold and wet conditions. So it took a while, actually, to break things down. It wasn't a sudden flip from the warm, dry April to cold, wet weather in 2007. It was a gradual erosion of the ridge and a gradual increase in northern blocking. So there we go, a little trip down memory lane, and it pretty much how I remembered it. I didn't think it was a dramatic flip that we had from 2000 and from the warm dry weather of April 2007 to the cold wet pattern we had in the summer. It was a gradual change, and that's pretty much how I remembered it as well. Right, so when we did Gaz over Roundup, we couldn't show you the options on the table within the ECM ensembles because we recorded the video too early. The ensembles that the Icelandic Metals hadn't updated. So I said we would include them in the live stream. This is the option that is on the table within the ECM ensembles. Let's just make sure that you're able to see this. So I'm not sure if you are or not, actually. So anyway, hopefully you can see this. This is the option that is on the table within the ECM ensembles for day 10, which is the 6th of May today. So we've got low pressure just out to the west of the country. Quite a deep area of low pressure just out to our west. This is 51 out of 51 members of the ECM ensembles, by the way. So it's all of them going for this. Low pressure just out to west of the country. Bit of a ridge over sort of France and into Germany, and bringing up the wind from a southerly direction. So possibly quite warm. Possibly quite warm, but quite unstable. That low pressure would provide the possibility of some rain, possibly even some flooding showers. This is how the options are looking as we get through to 2 weeks out. This gets us to the 11th of May. We've got 14 members of the ECM ensembles just here. that are going for, whoops, let's do that again, 14 members of the ECM ensemble just here that are going for a trough of low pressure over Scandinavia and to our east, a region middle of the Atlantic. That's a cool to quite cold and unsettled pattern. 14 members of the ECM ensembles are going for a ridge of high pressure to be kind of through Northern Europe and into the UK, so it's going to be a drier pattern. So 14 unsettled and quite cool, 14 dry and relatively warm. Another 12 just here in this pink box that again are looking quite cold and unsettled. Trough of low pressure over Scandinavia, region middle of the Atlantic, winds are in from the north. That's a cold and unsettled option. And then 11 with just here this sort of darker pink box just there, but have a trough of low pressure to our south and high pressure up towards Scandinavia. Generally those options are looking quite unsettled, I have to say, by the 11th of April. So this unsettled spell that's starting in the next few days might run on even into the second week of the month. It's possible that it could do. But of course that's a long way out. It's 2 weeks away, so hopefully we'll get back to some higher pressure before then. But it is possible this unsettled spell could go on for a little while. Right, so I'm going to turn off the display capture then, and I'm going to put the image back up. There we go, the image is back up. And we shall move back to YouTube and we'll see what you have all been making of that. So the live chat's pulled down to where we was. So when I left off and I started screen sharing. So I'm going to get back to where I was. I think I got to just there. There we go. So yes, we've got Dark Knight saying, I hope we don't get a strong La Nina because it ruins cold and winter here in Belgium. So, yes, that's true, Dark Knight. Generally, with ENSO, if you want a cold winter, you're going to be looking for a weaker type ENSO event, really. Be that El Nino or La Nina. You want them to be as weak as possible, really, but not an ENSO neutral, interestingly. So, either a weak to moderate El Nino and perhaps Madoki, which is a central base El Nino for a cold winter for Northern Europe, or a weak La Nina, probably the best state. And I actually sort of prefer a weak La Nina more than anything else. Let's move down and have a look at one or two more. So John Kellicher is giving us 5 thumbs up. Thank you so much, John, for doing that. And don't forget to give us a like on the video as well, everybody. Let YouTube know that you have enjoyed, or you are enjoying, have enjoyed this live stream. Also, Henry is saying, what's the first summer in your memory that you remember being a complete stinker? I'm not sure, actually, Henry W. 1978 was a very bad summer, but I was only a few months old then, so I don't remember that one. Probably, because when I was... so I remember 1983, which was a very hot summer, actually. The summer of 1983 was really, really hot, especially in July, and had some quite memorable thunderstorms. I can remember that. 1984 was also a hot summer. So probably for me, it would be the mid-1980s summers. So like 1985, 1986. They were pretty bad summers, and again 1987, I can remember all 3 of those, and they were all equally as bad, but possibly August 1986 was particularly bad. The thing with that summer is we did have a nice June, but after that the summer was absolutely terrible, and August 1986 was really, really bad. It was one of the worst Augusts of the 20th century. I can remember that quite vividly, actually. So we've also got my Croucher saying, how far is the sun from Earth and is the moon cold? Do you think we can visit any of the planets? Is there weather different to Earth's? Would you know? A lot of questions to answer there, Mikey. What does everybody else think? That's perhaps not questions for me to answer, really. So what does everybody else think about those questions? Let us know in the live chat. Now, we've also got, if I can get through the chat and seeing some more of your questions and comments, we've also got Chelsea Bill saying, could the SST model change be a change to a new average, hence a change in the anomalies? Yes, so this refers to sea surface temperature anomaly map. So we've been talking in the videos, we talked about it in Gaz Open Study Roundup and a few previous videos, that the sea surface temperature anomaly maps have changed to like a high definition version from now. We can still see the original version update twice a week, but I'm not sure how long we'll be able to do that for, so we possibly won't be able to do that for too much longer. But the new higher definition versions are seemingly quite a bit warmer and have fewer cold anomalies or cooler than average anomalies. And yes, it could be that, Chelsea Bill. It could be that we have moved to a new average. I have to do a little bit of research about that. Just to be honest, I don't know. But it's possible that that's what's happened there. And Chelsea Bill is also asking, so it's possible to see some thunder for Monday night? I'm not sure if the rain sort of Monday night Tuesday is going to be thundery, Chelsea, but it's possibly going to be more like persistent outbreaks of rain. Mike Crouch is saying, why doesn't United Kingdom have hurricanes? We're too far north. Really, Mikey, we're too far north in the Atlantic and the sea, the ocean. Atlantic is too cold to be able to support hurricanes. We do get the remains of hurricanes as areas of low pressure and post-tropical storms, but we're too far north to be able to sustain a hurricane. Or that's what we think, anyway. But it's possible that one day we might be caught out on that. Katrine is saying good afternoon, sharing congratulations on YouTube channel success. So yes, thank you very much, Katrine. Looking at one or two more of the comments, we've got Ed saying, on a net weather radar, there are some heavy showers in North Lincolnshire and north of Birmingham. So things are beginning to wobble a little bit then, Ed. Yes, things are beginning to go a bit more unstable. It's clouding up here, actually. When I started the live stream, it was like blue skies and glorious sunshine. I can see that the sun is going. So maybe we'll catch one of those showers here in North France. It would be nice to wet the ground. But as I say, even if we don't get showers like today and tomorrow, I think we're going to get quite a decent rain on Tuesday across most parts of England and Wales. Henry's saying even March and April 2002 had an extended drought and was quite warm too. It's a forgotten spell, but March and April 2002 was exceptionally dry in places. May turned very wet. I can't remember too much about that one, actually, Henry. So I know we had quite a wet winter, or quite a wet January and February anyway, in 2002. And then, yes, I think you're right, March and April did go quite a lot drier. So, all I can remember really about spring of 2002 is that Attack of the Clones was released, episode 2. That's what I remember about the spring of 2002, more than the weather, to be honest. Attack of the Clones. We've got City Andy saying, when do you expect a 2010 style cold spell? Difficult to say, Andy. So, I mean, you could get a very severe spell of cold weather at any point, but as I always say, when we're doing the long range stuff, we're really just looking for the trends. We're looking to see whether we're going to get a warmer than average season, or a cold than average season, a drier or wetter than average season. But those very extreme sort of spells, like December 2010, they are very, I wouldn't say they're unforecastable, but they are very, very difficult to forecast because you need to have everything just locking in perfectly. I was on the Weather Outlook forum around that time, and I actually expected quite a coldish winter for 2010-11, or certainly early winter anyway, because it had been the patterns that we've seen leading up to that have been quite similar to the year of 1950, and 1950 had a cold December. So I did actually always expect December 2010 to be cold, but I don't think, well, maybe the UK Met did, but I don't think many people expected the severity of cold that we had in the December to remember. I don't think there were many people really that expected, except perhaps the usual suspects, and with them, it's like a stop clock being right twice a day. But I don't think many people really thought that we would get the kind of freeze up that we had in December 2010. And so it's very difficult to say when we can, and I wouldn't really expect a December 2010 style cold spell. I notice you say, when can we expect that? And I wouldn't expect it at any point. Because it's just so very difficult to forecast those extreme spells. So when they happen, they always take us by surprise. So what we're looking for is to get a cold winter. And if that was meant to snowball, pardon the pun, into a very severe spell of cold and snowy weather, then that's how that spell would develop. But I wouldn't be looking for that. The first thing I'd be looking for is like to just get a cold winter, really, as your starting point, and then go from there. Matthew Hackett is with us, saying just started to cloud over in Warwickshire. Hope you get a bit of a thunderstorm. Good luck, Matthew. Hope you get a downpour. Hope you get some thunder and maybe some rain as well if you want it. Mark is saying it's true, that isn't it going when hot summers happen like 1995, cold winters, December, summer 2007, they stick in the memory. Yes, that's true, we do remember those extreme seasons. Savvy is saying, I hope you get some nice weather this summer. Yes, indeed, Savvy. Hopefully we'll have at least some nice weather when we come out of lockdown. Moving through the chat, we've got Simon Jenkins saying, what month is most likely to get hot and humid conditions like in the live stream, Gav? Thank you so much, Simon, for being with us this afternoon. Thank you, everybody, actually. We've been here for 50 minutes and we're still keeping very solidly around 60 concurrent viewers. So thank you so much, everybody, for being with us this afternoon. Again, don't forget to give us a like on the video. Let YouTube know that you have enjoyed this live stream. You're going to be here for another 10 minutes and then we'll wrap things up at 6 o'clock. But thank you so much, everybody, for being with us here with us this afternoon. So generally, Simon, July and August are likely to be the hottest months, really. So you can get appreciable hot, humid, thundery conditions in June. Of course, you can even get them in May. Can get them in September as well, of course. But statistically, it's July and August that tend to be tend to give us our hottest, most humid conditions, and particularly like the last 2 weeks of July and the first couple of weeks of August, that 4-week period does tend to be very, very hot indeed a lot of the time. So that's when you tend to get those, what we term the dog days of summer, as you see the temperature lifting up into the 90s Fahrenheit sometimes, and even above that occasionally, as we saw last summer. James Jukebox is saying, finally, real April weather arriving. So I think James has been a bit, nonplussed with the dry and warm weather that we've had this April. I think James is waiting for a little bit of rain. So yes, it's on its way, James. You're going to get some April showers before too much longer. Sharky Train 369 is saying, hi, I'm late. Never mind, Sharky, at least you've tuned in, so thank you so much for being with us. And we're also hearing from City Andy saying if I can get back to where I was, we've dropped down to the final comment. So City Andy saying the last week La Nina winter was 2017-18, and we got a beast from the east. Yes, that was a weak La Nina winter, wasn't it, Andy? So yes, that's true. Beast from the east in 2017-18 coinciding with a weak La Nina. Bear in mind, there will be winters that are weak La Nina and are mild winters as well. There is never a 100% guarantee from anything. There's never a 100% guarantee from anything for us to have a cold winter, unfortunately. It's just due to our position in the world. We sit on the edge of the frozen, or sometimes frozen, landmass to our north and east. We're next to the warm ocean as well. So we've got Savvy saying the moon experiences little to no weather because it has almost no atmosphere. So yes, that's true, Sally. Jeremy is saying sun is 93 million miles from Earth. This relates to somebody who was asking me about astronomical questions. So the sun apparently is 93 miles from Earth. Moon is cold. Could visit Mars in theory. and planets have different weather due to atmosphere composition. Think it rains sulfuric acid on Venus. There you go. A little bit of information astronomically wise or astronomical wise through our live chat this afternoon. Kendall Boucher is saying, Atlantic looking for 22 storms, 14 hurricanes, and 6 major hurricanes. Is this a forecast from somewhere? Kendall, please let us know where that predictions come from. Maybe it's your prediction. I think, yes, I have seen quite a few predictions, actually, that this hurricane season is going to be, quite an active one. We're expecting an above-average hurricane season, or most of the forecast. Gaz Weatherby doesn't actually release tropical storm or Atlantic hurricane season forecast, but most of the agencies that I've seen, like NOAA, like AccuWeather, like WeatherBell, Jobastadi, most of those forecast agencies seem to be predicting an above-average hurricane season this year, probably due to the warmer-than-average sea surface temperature anomalies in the tropical Atlantic, and also the possibility that we're going to move into a weak La Nina. So the general suspicion at the moment is that we're going to have an active hurricane season. The only question is how active could it get? Remember, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to have a bad summer, though. A lot of people think that if there's a lot of hurricanes going on in the Atlantic, then we're likely to have, an active sort of summer ourselves with areas of low pressure coming in. That doesn't always work out like that. 1995, for example, was a very active hurricane season, and we spent most of that summer under high pressure and having hot and dry conditions. So, yes, it doesn't always work out. That an active hurricane season will mean we have a lot of low pressure. Sometimes those subtropical storms, as they will be by the time they get there, move into Iceland and Greenland, and so that can leave us under high pressure. So you just never know. It always depends on exactly how the jet stream is interacting with high pressure and low pressure in the North Atlantic. Alan Jeffs is saying, we can't complain. It's been a lovely last 4 weeks with no rain. Gad, yes, we have had a tremendous run of dry and warm weather. So, I say, I don't think we can complain, really, about what's going to happen in the next few days. We are due a spell of more unsettled conditions, I think, most definitely. James doesn't seem to like Attack of the Clones, so we shall move on from that very quickly. We're not going to get into a Star Wars debate, but just to say, on my personal channel, I do Star Wars videos, and I like the prequels. I'm one of the few people on YouTube actually stick up for the prequels, so there we go. But we're not going to get into a debate about Attack of the Clones or Star Wars in this video. And we're coming to the end of the live stream. Of course, we're going to wrap things up in a couple of minutes. Sharky is saying it's been hot in October before. Yes, that's true, Sharky. So I think the highest temperature that we've recorded in October possibly gets to around 30 degrees, maybe. So certainly mid to upper 20s have been achieved in early October before now. But I think it is possible. I mean, have got very close to 30 degrees, I think, in October. I'm sure somebody knows what the highest October temperature on record is, maximum temperature on record is, but I think it's getting pretty close to 30 degrees. Right, so I think that pretty much wraps it up. We've come more or less to the end of the chat. Again, if I miss anybody's questions or comments out, then I'm really, really sorry about that, everyone. We've been very, very busy in the live stream today, in the live chat. Again today, we've had regularly around, we've dropped down a little bit now, but we've had regularly around 60 people watching, which I think is the most that we've had for one of our lockdown live streams. Yes, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in and for being with us this afternoon and for enjoying the live stream. We're going to do it all over again on, when we'll be doing it again, we'll be doing it again on Wednesday. And that will be between 4 and 5 o'clock in the afternoon on Wednesday. And then next Sunday's live stream will be between 5 and 6 o'clock, of course. So it's 4 to 5 on a Wednesday, 5 to 6 on a Sunday. We didn't have time to show CFSV2 in this live stream, so we'll probably have a look at that on Wednesday. If there's anything else you'd like to see, then when this live stream is finished processing, when YouTube has finished processing it up, you will be able to add comments with the video here at YouTube. So if there's anything else you'd like to see in Wednesday's live stream, let me know, and we'll see if we can fit that in during the during Wednesday's live stream. And I say that would be between 4 and 5 o'clock. Right, thank you so much, everybody, for being with us. Thank you to Savvy for moderating the chat. Been very, very busy in the live chat this afternoon, so really big thanks to all of you for being with us. Videos will be continuing, of course, before the next live stream. Next time we meet on Wednesday, we're going to be doing our regular Monday and Tuesday video updates, and if you watch videos regularly, you know the recording schedule, what that is on a Monday and a Tuesday. So I don't need to go into that, I wouldn't have thought. But thank you, everybody, for being with us. I'm going to close the stream there. Stay safe and well. And as I say, we'll be meeting back here on Wednesday between 4 and 5 o'clock. Thank you so much, everybody, for another great stream. And yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching and thanks for listening.